Hello and welcome everybody. Happy Saturday. My name is Holly Lanesmith, also known as Happy Holly. And I'm so excited to be with you here today on the Empowered Living Saturday show. Thank you for tuning in. When Paul asked me to share what I'm about to share and to do a little bit of teaching, I was stoked. I was really excited because what I'm about to share with you could very well be one of the most impactful things that you ever hear in your life if you apply it. This changed everything for me. We're continuing along this series on the Fully Resourced program, Paul's Fully Resourced Mentorship program, taking pieces of the program and providing with you with a little bit of teaching around it, a little bit more on it. And we're right now in the middle of the 7 universal laws of creation. And this law that I'm going to talk to you about is probably the most misunderstood of the 7 universal laws. But when you get it, and it's not hard to get, and when you start applying it, it's probably the easiest one to apply and to really get results quickly. So let's go to a clip of Paul teaching from the Fully Resourced program, and then I'll see you on the other side in just a couple minutes.
In this next part, we're going to look at the law of perpetual transmutation of radiant energy. Now that's a pretty big statement, isn't it? Perpetual transmutation of radiant energy law. And so the way we've been learning these laws is by looking at the diagram of the stick person. As I teach this lesson, I'm going to assume that you have this picture drawn out in front of you. And we're going to gain an understanding of what this law is and how we can use it in our lives to create and manifest what we want in our lives. Although the name of the law sounds maybe a little scary or vague or maybe complicated, it is perhaps one of the easiest laws to understand and apply in your life immediately. It is also one of the most effective laws to use when you want to design and create your life. You ready to go? I am. So let's jump into it. First, look at the name Perpetual Transmutation of Energy. Let's build on what we already know. We know that everything in the universe is energy. Everything you see is energy, and everything you don't see is energy. What do you mean, Paul? What do you mean things that I don't see as energy? Well, if you look at the room that you're in right now, you will see walls, you'll see the floor and the ceiling. You see maybe a desk or a table with the chairs. You see a computer or a lamp and maybe a TV. You see pictures on the wall. You see plants in the corner. All of those things that you see are made of energy. But between all of those things is empty space. And in that empty space is energy. Now, you don't see the air. You don't see the molecules of oxygen, do you? But you know in the room that you're in that there's actually more energy that you cannot see than there is energy that you can see. Everything you see and everything you don't see is energy. And the energy that you see and the energy that you do not see is in a state of perpetual transmutation. The word perpetual means continual, a continual flow and movement. And the word transmutation means the change or altering of something. And so the name of the law, perpetual transmutation of energy, tells us that all energy is in a constant state of change. It is in a constant state of vibrational frequency change. It's in the perpetual transmutation of change in its frequency of vibration. And when we apply our understanding of this law to a specific purpose in our lives, we can expand the purpose of the energy of our lives. And because you are the highest form of creation in all the universe, and you've been given dominion over all things by God, you can transmute all energy.
Okay, let's just stop right there. What did Paul just say there? He said, when we apply our understanding of the law to a specific purpose in our life, we can expand the purpose of the energy of our life. Let me say that again. When we apply our understanding of the law to a specific purpose in our life, we expand the purpose of the energy of our life. In other words, when we take this law, our understanding of this law and how it works, and we apply it to a specific purpose, a goal, a dream, an idea that you have for what you want to create in your life, your energy gets focused, and you begin to focus the energy around you on that specific purpose, on bringing it into creation. So let's do what Paul just told you to do. He said, look around the room. You know, when Paul tells you to do something, I've learned it's generally a good idea to do that thing. Generally, you know, you come out ahead from where you were. So look around the room that you're in right now and see what there is. What is there to be seen? You know, I'm in a studio right now, so there's the big studio lights, there's a camera, there's a computer, another camera over there, soundboards, a desk, a chair. These are all things that I see. But then also, Paul said, look at what isn't there. Look at what you can't see. All this empty space. But it's not really empty space, is it? Everything that you see is energy, and everything that you don't see is energy. All that empty space is energy, and it's creative energy, and it's the energy from which everything in the universe that you do see has been created. Wallace D. Wattles, he called it the thinking stuff from which all things are created. This thinking stuff. You know, if this doesn't give you an idea of the true abundance there is in this world, in this universe, I don't know what would. Look at what all the space. That space isn't empty. It's full. It's full of energy that's alive and vibrating and changing and moving. And you have dominion over all things, including that unseen energy. Now, this is evidence. All of this unseen energy is evidence of endless supply. There's so much. There's so much available to us in our lives, in this world, in this universe. You know, this is evidence of your infinite potential. You have dominion over all things. You have dominion over this energy and how you shape it. That's why Paul says, you know, go into the casino of life and bet on you. Bet on you. Because you have the ability as a creative being, you have the ability to take this unseen energy and to mold it into what it is that you want. I have to say, you know, I didn't even realize how small I was playing. And then I realized, man, oh man, was I playing small. Playing small. You know, not only was I getting small results in my life, but I was the one getting those results. In other words, I was the one who was doing the things to get the small results. I was playing small. I was marginalizing myself and therefore creating small, marginalized results in my life. I mean, honestly, by the age of 24, I was basically living a settled for life. I was basically in surrender mode. Now, I had dreams. I had ideas of what I wanted, but I had a whole lot more doubt than belief, than faith in those dreams. You know, I kind of lost, I lost hope. You know, I'd lost I'd lost hope that, I'd have the house, or I'd have the car, or I'd have the wardrobe, or I'd be able to travel the world, or I'd have a college fund for my kids. I'd lost hope. And what's even sadder is I was okay with it. I was okay with it. Yeah, there's a part of me that wanted more, but you know what? This is as good as it's gonna get. And what's even sadder is that I had settled for less of me. I wasn't expressing all of who I was created to be out into the world. I wasn't expressing the full expression of how God made me and how he designed me to impact this world, to make this world a better place. And I believe that's the case for every single one of you. We're each here to make this world a better place. We each have purpose and potential within us. And the world needs every single one of you. I had settled for less. And then this idea woke me up. This idea that I have dominion over all things, including this unseen energy all around me in this great expansive world, in this great expansive universe. I have dominion over all of that empty space energy. And so, I did what Paul tells us to do. I put it to the test. And I started to dream big. And I started to think, what if? What if I could get my dream job? Why not go for it? No, I'm gonna be teaching in a few weeks on the law of gender. And I think I'm gonna share with you the story about how I got my dream job. Because I allowed myself to enter into an experiment. Paul says, enter into the experiment of life. So I started to dream big. It's like, why not? Why not try? Why not see what happened? I would dream big. I would get an idea. I would act on that idea. And I did that over and over and over again. Those three things: dream, idea, act. Dream, idea of what I can do in this moment, here and now, to move me forward, an idea that's in harmony with that dream, to move me forward to what it is that I want. Okay, take action. And it worked. It worked. Now, was it a smooth ride the whole way? By no means. By no means. It was a bumpy ride. It was a bumpy ride. But you think about those things I had settled for that I would never have. The big house, the car. I've been to Rome, Amsterdam, Paris, Brussels, London, Jerusalem, San Jose, all over the Caribbean. I've been to all those places now. I didn't think that would ever happen. Until I made the switch and decided to start thinking, you know what, maybe that could happen. You know what, I'm going to dream big. I'm going to dream big. No, I've generated a multi-six-figure income for myself. I've made millions and millions of dollars in sales. So can you, whatever it is that your heart's desire is. It's possible for you. This law is a powerful, powerful law. But it took, at least 7 years from when I really started implementing this law to where I'm at now. It doesn't happen overnight. It took time. But you can start now. You can start now. Just think about this for a minute. I just showed you a 3-minute clip from a 32-minute teaching from a 9-hour program. The one idea from that 3-minute clip, that could change your life forever. If you allow it, if you start putting it into play in your life, if you start using it with a specific purpose. I don't believe it's an accident that you're here today. I don't believe it's an accident that you've tuned in, whether you intended to or you just kind of stumbled upon this on accident, whether, on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever it is that you're watching. I don't think it's an accident. So if you're here on purpose. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign that you should just lean in a little more. That you should just notice. Pay attention to what you're paying attention to. Like I said, this program, the Fully Resourced program, this is a powerful program. And if you haven't taken the step to get into it, you gotta ask yourself why. Why? And maybe you being here today is just that verification that you needed. You know what? Let me check this out. And let me say this, if you're not in this program, what story is holding you back? What story are you telling yourself that's holding you back? Is it the story that you don't have enough money? Or is it the story that you don't have enough time? Or is it the story that you're not really worthy of making that kind of investment in yourself? Here's what I can tell you. When I changed my story, I changed my life. You can change your story. See, what happens for so many people is instead of having a dream, they have a story. They have a story of why it's not going to work, why it's not, possible for them. And there's no truth in that. You have dominion over all things, which means you have dominion over what you choose to tell yourself is true for you. Change your story. Change your story. It's going to change your life. I'm going to give you 3 things to do. And I'm just going to really encourage you to play full out. And by playing full out, this doesn't require a lot of time. It doesn't even require a lot of energy. It doesn't require a lot of thinking even. It's going to be pretty easy to play full out. So play full out and do what I'm about to share with you to do, just starting today for the next 7 days. And what I want you to see is by the end of those 7 days, see if you don't maybe feel a little better about who you are, about yourself as a person. Because, when we feel better about ourselves, we tend to perform better. And I think it's fair to say that our level of performance is directly tied to our level of compensation in whatever work it is that you do, whatever it is that you do. If you perform better, you get better, you get higher compensation, whatever it is that you do. So if you can feel better, which leads to performing better, why not give it a try? I guarantee you this will take less than 10 minutes a day. Okay? There's 3 things. 3 things. Write these 3 things down. And just see if at the end of the 7 days, if you're not more excited about your life, if you don't feel better about who you are, just see. Number 1, spend 5 minutes, and you can be anywhere. You can do this from literally anywhere. Your house, your car, your office, a grocery store, your backyard, walking through your neighborhood. Spend 5 minutes looking around at all of this space, all of this quote unquote empty space all around us. So much more empty space than there is solid things in this world. Wouldn't you agree? Obviously. Look at all of this empty space and just see it and think about it as if it is this magical energy that can be molded and formed into anything. And if that was true, what would be the top 10 things that you would mold and form this energy into? What would be those top 10 things? Think about that. Spend 5 minutes every day thinking about it. Looking at the space and thinking about what you would mold this energy into, the top 10 things you would mold and form it into. That's number 1. Number 2, honestly, should take you a minute or less. Think of 5 things in your life right now, where you're at, the way things are in your physical reality. Think of 5 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's your friends. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's the food you have to eat. Maybe it's that you have a good job that provides for your family. Maybe it's just having a roof over your head. Maybe it's having a community. 5 things. Every day, think of 5 things that you're grateful for. That's number 2. Number 3, spend just a couple minutes. Think about who you are and what your intentions are for yourself, for your kids, for your family, for your business, for your career, for your clients, for this world. What are your intentions? And are those intentions, if they were all to come to pass, if they were all to take place in your life and in this world, would they make this world a better place? Would they make things better for your kids, for your family, for your clients? In other words, are you a good person? It's basically what we're getting at here. And if the answer is yes, which I believe it is, think about 3 things, 3 intentions for what you want to create. 3 things that you intend to create, and write them down. Write down 3 things you intend to create, because those things are going to make this world a better place. So those are the 3 things. 5 minutes looking around at this space and thinking, what are the top 10 things that I would create? If I could take this empty space and mold it and form it into something in my physical reality. And that could be a car, it could be a house, it could be a business, it could be feelings about yourself, how you feel within yourself, your self-image. It could be anything, what it is that you desire. Top 10 things that you would create. What would you create out of this empty space, this thought energy that you create in your physical reality? 5 things that you're grateful for. Think of 5 things you're grateful for. Number 3, write down the 3 things you intend to create. If you really believe that your intentions will lead to a better world, then write down 3 things that you intend to create. That's it. See if at the end of the week, if you don't feel better just about who you are as a person, see if you don't feel better. Email me midweek, Tuesday or Wednesday. Email me, let me know how it's going. Holly@paulmartinelli.net. Email me and let me know how it's going. Are you doing it? And if you're not, why? Why? Give it a shot. Less than 10 minutes a day could seriously change things for you. This is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This is a law. You're taking thought energy and you're linking it with purpose. You're linking it with purpose. You're applying your understanding of this law to a specific purpose, a goal, a dream, desire, an idea that you want to bring into manifestation in your life. And the cool thing is, when you start thinking like this, Not only are the things you're thinking about, you're transmuting the energy of the things you're thinking about to a higher level of vibrational frequency, but you're also transmuting the energy of how you're thinking, the way you're thinking, to a higher level of thinking. You're operating at a higher level of thinking. And only good things can come from that. So do the 3 things. Email me. Let me know how it goes. Thanks so much for tuning in. You got this. This could be one of the most impactful steps you take in your life for what it's going to lead to. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Be well.